Since 1900, there have been 778 documented victims of serial killers in Florida. In the 10-year period during the 1980s, the state recorded 247 serial murders, making Florida the third most dangerous state in the United States. The odds are that you've heard of these American killers, but probably didn't know they were from Florida. 1. Aileen Wuornos. Aileen Wuornos is probably one of the most controversial female serial killers in the US. She was sentenced to death for the shootings of 7 men, which she claims to have done in self-defense. Wuornos, also known as Susan Lynn Blachowicz, Sandra Kretsch, Cammie Marsh Green, Laurie Christine Grody, and Lee Blachowicz, claimed that while working as a prostitute, her victims raped her. Throughout the 70s and 80s, and before graduating to murder, she had been arrested on several counts of violence, theft, assault, and battery. The 2003 movie Monster, starring Charlize Theron as Aileen, is a biographical drama about her life. 2. Bobby Joe Long. Bobby Joe Long sexually assaulted, abducted, and killed over 10 women in his career. As of 2017, he remains on death row in the state of Florida. His other monikers include the classified ad rapist and the ad man rapist. Notorious for disposing of bodies in unusual poses, Long is considered to be a serial killer with a prominent modus operandi. He confessed to deriving sadistic pleasure from rape and murder. Long released his last victim after raping her for 26 hours. Her information led to his arrest in 1984. Uchenju Ted Bundy. No doubt you've heard of Ted Bundy, killer of over 30 people. But did you know that he escaped capture twice, both times in 1977? By the time he was recaptured in 1978, he had faced 3 death sentences and was sent to the electric chair. Besides being a prolific serial killer, Bundy was a necrophile who would sometimes spend hours grooming and performing sexual acts with his victims' corpses. He kept the heads of 12 of his victims as mementos. 4. Gary Ray Bowles. Gary Ray Bowles, also known as the I-95 killer, murdered 6 people in the year 1994. He is currently 55 years of age and is convicted of sexual assault, murder, and the unarmed robbery of 25 people in total. Bowles had an abusive childhood, was homeless, and earned money working as a prostitute. His biological father died from black lung disease while working as a coal miner, and his mother remarried several times. The second stepfather was a violent alcoholic and abused both him, his mother, and his brother before he fought back. His killings spanned over 3 states: Florida, Georgia, and Maryland. 5. Danny Rolling. Otherwise known as the Gainesville Ripper, Danny Rolling killed 8 people across the states of Florida and Louisiana. He was apprehended in 1991 and executed in 2006 at the age of 52 by lethal injection. Before his triple homicide and attempted murder of his father, he raped and killed 5 students in Gainesville, Florida, in August 1990. He mutilated and posed the bodies, sometimes using mirrors. Most of the victims were Caucasian, petite in body shape, and brunettes with brown eyes. Rolling was arrested several times during his teenage years for robberies and voyeurism. Despite his emotionally abusive upbringing, Rolling worked as a waiter and attempted to hold a steady job. In a trial that took place approximately 4 years after the murders, Rolling admitted that he wanted to be as famous as Ted Bundy. His story was the inspiration for the Scream movie franchise. I'd say he got close. 6th Oscar Ray Bolin Jr. Another remarkable serial killer, Oscar Ray Bolin Jr., aka Bolin the Butcher, was convicted of stabbing and beating 3 Florida women and sentenced to death twice. While in county jail, Bolin Jr. managed to get married to a socially prominent woman named Rosalie Martinez in 1996. Every verdict in his cases concluded with several reversals and new trials. Eventually, they all ended in conviction for murder due to an anonymous tip that was later revealed to be his half-brother, Philip Brolin. 7. Otis Toole. Otis Toole was an arsonist and cannibal, as well as a serial killer of more than 6 people. He died at age 49 from cirrhosis of the liver during his imprisonment in Florida State Prison. Toole had an abusive mother, whom he claimed would force him to dress in women's clothing while she called him Susan. His maternal grandmother called him the Devil's Child, probably due to his epilepsy and sexual orientation. His first arrest was at the age of 17 for loitering. Growing up to be a drifter, panhandler, and prostitute, Toole received numerous accusations for crimes he may or may not have committed. He developed a sexual relationship with Henry Lee Lucas, aka the Highway Stalker, and was an accomplice to various crimes. If you want to learn more about Florida serial killers, check out our YouTube channel and subscribe for more content like this.